You've seen the headlines, right? The ones that scream, "You'll need $2 million to retire comfortably." I mean, it's a number so huge, so intimidating, it just makes you want to throw your hands up and not even start. Well, today, we are going to tear that number apart. We're going to look at the psychological trap it sets and build a totally new and honestly a much more empowering way to think about saving for your future.
So yeah, there it is, that giant multi-million-dollar number that the financial world just loves to throw at us. It's supposed to be a wake-up call, but for most people, it feels a lot more like a knockout punch. It just freezes you with anxiety before you've even made your first move.
And this is the thought that pops into your head almost immediately, isn't it? It's a completely normal reaction. I mean, when a goal seems literally impossible, our motivation just vanishes. But here's the thing. That feeling isn't some personal failure. It's actually a predictable little glitch in how our brains are wired.
And that little glitch has a name. It's called anchoring bias. That very first number we see, that $2 million, it becomes our anchor. From that point on, every single decision we make about saving gets measured against that impossibly high number, which makes any small step we could take feel totally pointless. We're anchored to a fantasy number that has almost nothing to do with our real lives.
Okay, so if that $2 million anchor is just junk, let's cut the rope and throw it overboard. Let's find a real anchor. What does retirement actually look like if you save absolutely nothing extra? What is the true default starting point for millions and millions of people?
This is it. This is the real number, around $2,000 a month. This isn't some scary hypothetical number from a headline. This is the average Social Security benefit a retired worker can expect in 2025. This is the foundation. Everything else we do is about building on top of this.
But, let's be real about how far that foundation actually stretches. We start with our $2,000. Right away, median housing costs take a massive bite out of it. Then come utilities, basic groceries, and Medicare premiums. And listen, these aren't luxuries we're talking about. This is just the cost of survival.
And this is what's really at stake. After you pay for the bare minimum, you're not at zero. You're actually in the negative. This is what we'll call the zero extra baseline. No coffee with friends, no gifts for the grandkids, no hobbies, no travel, nothing. This is the reality we are trying to improve, not some fantasy about a $2 million lifestyle. So, by shifting our anchor from that impossible millionaire dream to the stark reality of this baseline, we completely change the game. The goal is no longer about hitting some impossibly high number. Nope. The goal now is simply about making the baseline better.
This is the new mindset right here. We anchor ourselves to this zero extra baseline, and suddenly, every single dollar you manage to save isn't some pathetic little drop in a multi-million-dollar bucket. No way! It's a direct, it's a tangible, and it is a powerful upgrade to your actual quality of life.
Let me show you what this looks like in the real world. Saving just $10,000 over your career, that could generate around $33 extra a month in retirement. What can you do with that? Well, you could have a weekly coffee with your friends. And that's not small, that's social connection. Decades of research, like the famous Harvard Grant study, have shown that the single biggest predictor of our long-term happiness isn't money. It's the strength of our relationships. So your savings aren't just buying coffee, they're buying happiness.
Okay, so this is where that new mindset gets supercharged by some simple math. Let's see what happens when these small, achievable wins get the one resource that does all the heavy lifting for us: time. Let's say you manage to tuck away just $200 a month. After 10 years, assuming a 7% average return, you'd have almost $35,000. Pretty good. But look what happens over the next 10 years. It doesn't just double, it triples to over $104,000. That's because your money is now making its own money. That's compounding. And after 30 years, you're looking at nearly $250,000. It's the power of small, consistent effort over a long time.
This just shows you the incredible, kind of mind-bending asymmetry of time. The effort you put in, $200 a month, it feels small, right? It feels linear. But the result you get back is exponential. Your small, consistent actions have this outrageously larger impact down the line, all thanks to the magic of compounding returns. And what if $200 a month feels like too much? I get it. Let's dial it way, way back. Even $50 a month, that's like the cost of a few streaming services, can become over $60,000 after 30 years. The point here isn't the amount. The point is just to start, to break that paralysis and let time do its amazing work. Okay, so we get the mindset shifts, we get the math. Awesome.
Now, how do we actually put this into practice? How do we actively fight back against that nasty anchoring bias? Well, here is a simple 4-step toolkit that you can start using right now.
All right, let's break it down. First step, audit your current anchor. Seriously, ask yourself, where did that big number in your head even come from? Second, visualize the baseline. Make that zero extra life feel real. Third, create micro wins. Start super small to build momentum. And fourth, address your lifestyle anchors. We need to tackle the idea that only extreme wealth brings happiness.
That second step, visualizing, is so powerful. Don't just think about the numbers, feel them. Really imagine that zero extra baseline life, the quiet mornings, the missed birthday parties, just feeling stuck. That feeling, that's a powerful motivator. Now imagine adding just an extra $100 a month to that picture. That's a social life. That's a little bit of freedom.
And for that last step, reframing your goals, you've got to understand what money really buys. Look, research shows over and over again that while more money does increase happiness, it does so logarithmically. What does that mean? It means the jump in well-being you get going from making $50,000 a year to $100,000 is way bigger than the jump you'd get from $1 million to $2 million. Once your basic needs are met, studies like one from Kiplinger find that things like your health, a sense of purpose, and your relationships, those matter way more than your net worth.
So the $2 million anchor, it's gone. We've thrown it out. You are now anchored in reality, focused on improving your baseline $1 at a time. The paralysis is broken. So the only question left is what's the first small, achievable win you're going to create for your future self? Maybe it's just automating a transfer of $10 a week. Whatever it is, the journey starts right now.
And of course, just a reminder, this content is for informational purposes only. It is not financial advice. Investing always involves risk, so you should always consult with a qualified financial professional for advice that's tailored to your unique situation. Thanks for tuning in.